Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Yahleali. In this incarnation, I am here today to talk about the astrological energies from today, September 1st until September 8th. So we will approach this in order, but we have to take for granted that we are in the eclipse season because this is started by the new moon that we have tomorrow in Virgo. So today is happening a lot. September 1st, we have the retrogradation of Uranus in Taurus. This is about changes and disruptions linked with resources and structures that appear to give stability, but they became obsolete. Uranus is also these creative ideas and solutions that we have to retake, having made adjustments, because this week Mercury in Leo is going to create its last square with Uranus in Taurus. So something is concluding. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Then we have Pluto starting its last return in Capricorn. And in addition to the video that I already did, I wanted to say that Capricorn is this archetype of the father. The father as a figure that we need to incorporate, because during the transit that Pluto started in 2008, it also exposed the distortion, the darkness linked with the annulation. I don't know if I'm inventing this word, of the feminine polarity, which is the mother represented by the complementary, the opposed axis, which is Cancer, and how that affected us all, what generated in the community, in the collective. So I'm not talking about here of women or men, nor ideologies, but of our archetypes that we need to integrate energetically to function. I mean, a man that is annulled in the feminine polarity cannot develop emotional intelligence, is going to be authoritarian or even abusive. A woman that has her feminine polarity annulled, is going to feel that has to control everything, the incapacity to inhabit its own receptive aspect or allowing, receiving help or asking for it. So it is going to attract people that has no capacity to make decisions or with lack of initiative. But if a woman, for example, has no integration of her masculine polarity, will feel that it needs to be saved, and that that person cannot connect with its own capacities to carry on their own path. So this is an aspect that we are going to also reevaluate in this last return of Pluto to Capricorn, that is going to stay only in the degree 29, which is a karmatic degree, and we are going to do this purge. So, well, I'm going to talk about that later. I'm going to continue with the new moon in Virgo in the degree 11. I am repeating this for the people that could have planets 3 degrees before or after of the mutable signs, Virgo, Sagittarius, Gemini, Pisces. And, well, this is given with that opposition with Saturn retrograde in Pisces that we are going to feel the whole week, because the sun in Virgo is going to perfect this transit on September 8th. So, because this new moon is the initiator of the eclipse season, this week we are going also to see pretty much of what is corresponding to the second eclipse of South Node in Libra. Let's remember that karma nodes are these mathematical points where eclipses happen. So I'm going to explain this in a minute. Virgo is inviting us to the necessary order, activating our discernment to truly understand what is function and what is not function, what is not working anymore. Saturn is inviting us to establish a boundary and to sustain structures that are collaborative with us and with the collective, because we are talking about Saturn in Pisces. But this has to happen in connection with the soul, because otherwise we are going to suffer. I mean, if we are sustaining loads or experiences that are pushing us away from our own connection with the soul, that inevitably is going to lead us to the energetic drain, or to not take care of ourselves. And Virgo, it is also talking about the importance of taking care of our physical body, our health. Spirituality includes the body. So doing that is demonstrating love to ourselves. These shadows of Virgo are this excessive criticism to oneself that in the end always ends up projecting on the other people. How other people is treating their environment is how they are treating themselves. And I am sure that everyone, each one of us, has something to improve in terms of this. Also, the constant focus in what is lacking or what is wrong. Excessive focus on the detail, losing the big picture. It is another shadow of Virgo. And also losing the capacity to appreciate what we already have. And this is something that I'm going to talk a lot during the 2025, because the nodes are going to move, North Node to Pisces and South Node to Virgo. So I'm going to explain this better when I am doing the video of the karma nodes. Then on September 3rd, we have Mars in Gemini, perfecting its square with Neptune retrograde in Pisces. And this is something that has been active since the last week. And it is about transcending the confusion, the indecision, the self-deceit, apathy, lack of sense, trying to embrace too much paths and ways that cannot be sustained at the same time, and taking action, making decisions, listening to our soul, trusting in that process. And this is something that could be very, very challenging. Neptune many times is this incapacity to see what is on the other side of those decisions. It is about detaching from the control of the mind and trusting in those decisions. So that could be something challenging. The other day, on September 4th, Mars is entering in Cancer. In mathematical degrees, it continues to stay in this square with Neptune in Pisces, but the energy is going to change a lot. Mars is this planet of action, of self-affirmation. And in Cancer, it has the tendency to open the path in what it already knows, or what it brings, like this sense of safety, security. But also, it is a Mars that could active its protective instinct of the territory when it feels a threat, and something that is linked with the sense of belonging or family. We are going to talk about this later, because the transit of Mars in Cancer is going to be something intense and extensive. When Mars is going to move to Leo, is going to retrograde. Is going to be retrograde for a lot of months. So it's going to return to Cancer. It's going to make oppositions with Pluto. So we have a lot from here and on talking about Mars. I'm going to do a specific video talking about this. Well, that same day, on September 4th, and we are going to feel this before, from the 3rd, the 2nd, Venus in Libra is going to make a conjunction with the South Node in Libra, and an opposition with the North Node, which obviously it is talking about what is going to be about the eclipse season, the eclipse Libra, the Libra eclipse for each one of us. And remember that this Venus particularly has to understand that harmony is an illusion. If to sustain it, we have to put our desires and the things that we value aside to avoid the conflict, or for fear of being alone. This harmony emerges naturally when we manage our internal imbalances, when we put the intention into resolve, repair, or accept the differences, because we don't always have to be in agreement. This is also important. And the fact that we need to choose people that has that same will to do that for themselves, not for the relationship or for us, for themselves, because they know what is really contributing with themselves. Well, on September 6th, Venus is going to activate the mathematical degree of the eclipse. So this is for you to take in account. And From September 5th until the final end of the week, Mercury in Leo is going to make its last square with Uranus in Taurus. And this is like the conclusion of the history, the story that started in July 21st. We are connecting the points, we are understanding better the big picture. Maybe we are lowering the resistance in relation regarding to a change that it is important to do, and that implies our creativity, our authenticity, irradiating our light. Or the relationship with children, daughters and sisters in some cases. On September 8th, we are going to, Mercury is returning to Virgo. So we are going to retake processes, maybe, that were pending from the time that Mercury started its retrogradation, which was August 5th, near that time. So conversations, decisions, processes of life, we are going to retake them. And that same day, on September 8th, the Sun in Virgo is going to perfect its opposition with Saturn retrograde in Pisces. I talked about this at the beginning of the video. And the key, and probably the greatest challenge, the greatest test, because Saturn is a planet of tests, probably is to see the obstacles as something that is helping us to polish ourselves, to refine ourselves and refine our processes and what we want to create, and to understand that what cannot be part of our daily life, which is Virgo, it is because it is not contributing to objectives, to goals of the soul, because Saturn in Pisces wants us to align with goals of the soul, things that are contributing with love to ourselves and with love to the collective. So, I am ending this video here. Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.